So it's happening. It happened. Yeah, kind of crazy. And here it is, New York. You aggravated somebody, you know? And what had happened is this aggravated person got shot. So now this aggravated shot person, he initiated an attack. He was first the bomb. First the bomb. It's one of my favorite Tupac songs. See, a lot of people ain't hear a lot of Tupac stuff. They heard the ordinary commercial stuff. I heard a lot of stuff and I put it on, around people that never heard it before, and it got a lot of attention and it re-raised a lot of questions. So, Tupac is originally from White Plains, New York. I know y'all hear he's from the city. I know you hear he's from the Bronx and he's from Baltimore and stuff like that. But he's in my older cousin's yearbook in kindergarten, first grade and second grade and stuff like that. Actually, that's the same school I caught my red chakra by, but that's a different story. But we gonna talk about the aggravated, already grumpy white man that owns a little bit of the land that he presidents. So ISIS hasn't been doing anything to us. Hamas, Al Qaeda, none of those magical people over there that play with the bombs more than they play with the K's. They play with the K's, but they really don't play with nothing more than the bombs. We got an angry white president that initiated that. Now listen, who's to say if Kamala Harris was the president, she would have bombed ISIS? Who's to say if Kamala Harris was the president, she would have bombed anybody? Okay? But now we in the utter silence, New York. We in the silence because this is the stomping ground of Trump. Trump goes back with my family when my family was popping back in the day. You feel me? You see how I got relatives that's around globally and they popping, they everywhere. All right, so my family was popping and Trump was with my family a long time ago. Okay? And it's a lot of stuff, I guess, that had happened back in the day due to no video cameras, no camcorders wasn't on your cell phone and stuff like that. So people have attitudes. People change. Another thing, Tupac, he wasn't known for being a gangster. He was in plays and speech and drama and other type of acting and stuff like that. But what people fail to realize is when you put somebody through something, you can make them sour. No matter how sweet they were. You can make them bitter. You can make them rough. You can make them angry. You can rub them the wrong way. And the person that naturally is born rough, bitter, and angry, they can be outshadowed by the nice person that was born nice and was rubbed the wrong way his wrong life, the whole entire life. Always remember that. Some organic can be depleted. This is why this is a negative earth. This is why I talk about the rotten and degeneration side of planet Earth that people don't understand. It's the death side. Or organic mental health or organic anger will not supersede an embedded anger depending on the person. That's where the word degree comes from. A disabled person or a handicapped person can show you anger despite the fact that they can fully be capable of defending themselves. Right? However, certain things are robotic and uncontrollable. And Captain Trump displays that night in and night out in speeches as well. So now we hit ISIS because we're still trying to build a new America. At the same time, we're trying to build a new land. They're trying to destroy the land so they can make a new city. They already made new cities in other countries because the other countries was willing to let America help. So Ethiopia and other countries, they just beautiful. Hands down. Gorgeous buildings, skyscrapers and sceneries. It's not filthy, dirty, and clean. The mannerism is on point. Now this is globally. America has they put their input with construction and infrastructures. And our president, it just so happens to have a stamp in that. So this America, right? One big business, and we just workers naturally. As you're born, you're working. As soon as you're born, you're working. You have a social security number. Your time is money, guaranteed. Your time is reward. If you keep getting disciplined in your time, they encourage you to break the law and get judged. There's a dark side. That's why the judge wears black. There's a dark side to law in society. It's called uncommon law that the law people that have the license know. We know the common law. Well, I guess you guys know the common law. And you try to make loopholes around the common law because you know nicks and crannies of the uncommon law. So the judge and the prosecutor is dead ass telling you in your face as they got you in handcuffs, maybe you should have killed the person and not have let you go. They're just telling you that subconsciously because in America you only have freedom. That's it, just freedom. We could easily just violate the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. We could burn that shit tomorrow. We could burn the fact of having freedom tomorrow. We could do it in 5 minutes. But everybody's coming over here for the freedom and benefiting from it. Not understanding the dark side of the world. Now look at the celebrity list. Look at the people that are successful on YouTube, the cheaters, the money laundering, the federal schemes that the federal people don't give a fuck about. They saying, yes, just make it. Just do it. You know why we want you to do it? Because we make the money, so we want you to do it. It's just that it's guidelines. The guidelines come from where? Other countries. If federal runs all the countries, other countries put in tariffs. So Trump puts in tariffs. So basically, the reason why we can't get paid the way we want to get paid is because not just of the lizard white people from Mars, it's the other countries. They don't want us to get paid like that either because they don't want their citizens to run over here. Because they got job and labor over there. So that's the tariff that America pays. We get lied to and there ain't shit we can do about it. When you get shot and you can't shoot the person back, you might feel some type of way. So you got an angry older white man with a whole bunch of power and money, with a beautiful wife, and he can't tell them shit because he took them shots in front of everybody, millions of people. He got people like Kodak Black out of jail, who's having a chicken attack and a hallucination for popping so many pills. That's what the brain do. It's like a mirage. So everybody that's seeing 7 moons and 4 suns, it's a mirage of itself. You're not understanding that either. Water, reflection, you can see yourself. An animal sees itself when it's drinking water, when the water's clean. And when sometimes the animal rages out when it sees its reflection. So it's a mirror effect that y'all don't understand. It's just like Brahms' head on the left side. Is it a burn or is it a scar? Is that the reason why he doesn't have hair, or is that Shiva? Is Vishnu a younger version? What's going on here? It's too many vertas and chakras and chapters. So you start to ask questions because people is adding shit on at the end. So you're like, fuck it. I'm frustrated. It's fake. I don't care. Just like you don't care, but you used it against somebody. Somebody else don't care and they want to use that shit against somebody too. So you're a product of your environment. So if when you see a standout, it stands out. Now him and Vladimir Putin, they done had words and shook hands and had words again and shook hands. He don't really mess with the Asians because he's trying to turn everybody against the Asians, despite our allies being Japan. Now the moon is a star. So when a big star from the north finally rises, it's not just China, it's Japan when America is decimated. You understand? We didn't make history. Kamala wasn't going to hit no ISIS for nothing. ISIS was probably going to surrender. Everybody from the other countries want to see that, and America prolonged. They want to see what will happen if a female becomes president for 8 years. In any type of event, whether it's catastrophic, nuclear, or governmental, godly, or whatever. Everybody wants to see, whether you want to see the success or the fail. Now, maybe little X, Elon's son, and Trump, they probably play with each other like that. They probably be wrestling in the dining room and shit. And, they be WWE and WWF. I think Trump was on WWF, so this is not an exaggeration or me trying to get laughs. This could be very much scripted like everything else in the world. All you need is family and friends. Acting and playing it out. Now listen, I said acting and playing it out. I told you in the previous video about Vasu Sastra, what the federal government uses. Together, it means something way different than it does individually. Those two words, separately. Dwelling and teaching. So I graduated college because when I learned it, I said, okay, mirror, mirror on the wall. And which community are you teaching it to, y'all? Then if you look deeper, it's a female's game. Right? Mirror, mirror on the wall. Dwelling and teaching. Vastu Sastra. Vasu Sastra. Vasu Sastra. Dwelling and teaching. So you start to think, is a fidget spinner, if I sit up there and spin a fidget spinner on my finger, am I dwelling and teaching? Maybe I'm dwelling on something because I'm thinking about something else and I'm teaching somebody how to spin it on my finger that never tried it before. Looks very indigenous in religious, if you ask me, if you look at the whole institute of what I'm talking about. Because when you put the words together, it's an Indian architect. Not to go word for word or confuse you, but you wouldn't put a jail in the middle of a high place, income place, or rural area. You wouldn't just plant a jail right there. Right? You would have the jail kind of secluded. Or you wouldn't put a carnival or an amusement park right in the middle of the ghetto. You wouldn't put a bank right in the middle of the ghetto. That's Sastra. Dwelling and teaching. Dwelling and teaching. Certain things you just don't do. You see, you have Times Square in America. It just isn't a big mosque just sitting there. Right? You understand the concept? Right, a bank. Why would you put it in the hood? Vasu Sastra, dwelling and teaching. But the artist that makes sense of it, it's the word degree. If you're putting yourself in a situation that you have no business being, then who's right and who's wrong? Depending on who got the argument off first? No. Because if it's premeditated, dwelling and teaching, there comes the argument. Vasu Sastra. They put the church in the projects, and you can have the funeral. You won't put the amusement park in the bank. You know? If you go to the hills right now with all the nice, beautiful mansions and houses, you're not going to have a charity drive over there. Zakat is charity. So that's what the federal government, that's what they view in every situation and scenario. Are you trying to get somebody's attention to make them speak? And if they don't speak to you, do you want physical body harm? Or fuck it, you want them to die that they didn't say, just because they didn't say good morning or hello or held the door or try to flirt with you and get your phone number? You know? So men dwell and teach. They just do it in a different way. And that's what Trump is doing right now. Just so happened he hit the Indians. You see the religious ground. I'm not gonna lie to you. Why is America, trying to tamper and touch all the indigenous land and make it modernized? That goes against Vasu Sastra. But you're locking people up and letting people lose their lives. You don't really die for real. Electricity can restart your heart, and then they can preserve your body. Walt Disney wasn't buried or incinerated. He's still frozen. And all the money that he makes, it still goes to keeping him alive, preserved and frozen. Honestly and truthfully, they could bring you back from the skeleton, just like they did the dinosaurs and all the extinct animals. Thanks to computers, thanks to genetic and stem cells, genetic DNA and stem cell DNA and engineering. It's a little Cabbage Patch-ish, but it happens. So now instead of going for it, he should have just went straight for the Soviet Union. For some reason, this white man keeps going after the Sand Negro. The other one that's asking, do you belong on this planet? They're asking it in a different language. What's about to happen? Is that a retaliation? Was this shit in California a fucking energy weapon from another country and not the United States? Do you see what I mean about how domestic terrorism could be viewed? When we see it, we view it as, oh, maybe they just carving up the fucking land just because they want to build, and then reveal it on TikTok that they want a new city build, when all reality we getting attacked by another fucking country, and that was just a lie, and it's just another segment and a segue of what? Domestic terrorism. That shit is not what it seems. It's on TV. Y'all not living what's going on in fucking real time. When y'all read the headlines, that shit gets your attention. And that's how fucking serious that shit is. That uttered silence when you read the headline on the news. And you see what the fuck just happened. Yeah, that shit is serious. That shit ain't about no fucking game. That ain't no game. Just because it don't pop off overnight, the retaliation will pop off overnight, don't mean that shit ain't serious. I mean, if that was to happen to us because we have the resources to go retaliate that day, such as 9/11 or whatever. But this is all backdoor job. This is compared to Hollywood. You know how the upper elites, they get their dick sucked and they get to fuck the upcoming artists and the upcoming fucking celebrities? The older senior fucking celebrities that's old as shit and get this tell a person that's younger than them no that they cannot get paid to make music. The old decrepit Frankenstein vampires that's always with the wave and always with the fad. Them niggas is 95-year-old and they just growing out they cornrows and just growing out dreadlocks and shit. Yeah, them type of niggas. You feel me? I'm just being honest. Everything here, no matter what, that shit is not peachy. And it seems like it's not peachy is because a certain Nordic Gallic almighty lizard from somewhere else has the manipulation, the tongue and the lips, just, zestifying on us, on our flesh and how the way we live. And they can't get their way with us, so they do shit like this. Listen, I'm just being honest, was it fucking ISIS that did that shit in California? Just saying. How much money did you spend on them fucking missiles just now? And we got $4.7 trillion just laying there on the side in federal money that belong to every citizen in the United States of America. We share social security numbers with people. Do y'all understand that? We share social security numbers. Your money, money can be getting confused and all of that shit. Do y'all understand that? There's all types of hidden rewards that we should be getting because of the taxes that we're paying. That's the whole purpose and sole purpose of a receipt. A little white paper such as a receipt. People was privy back in the day with typewriters on their receipts doing their taxes, getting each and every dime back. That shit is not allowed no more. So it's another way to come up. And that's why everybody wants to come over here. Look what's going on. Y'all niggas got shit bugging out. Y'all got orbs out here, UFOs, everything. I got a permanent orb outside by the park. That shit is always, he always, or she, or it, or what, it always comes. It always magically comes to this specific place. It's not just a star. It's not just a star. It's not a plane. I'm going to show you a plane to fly right next to this shit. And it's not a drone. That shit look like a porcupine. It look like a septogram. You know what sept is? Like, you know how the months and calendars and shit. You know how our shit is wrong? Sept means 7. It's really supposed to be the 7th month of the year because it's supposed to be 13. 13 months in a year, and it's supposed to be 28 days in each and every month. So basically we're 2 ahead or 2 behind, but Sept A septagram is a 7-point star. Listen to me. 7 is September 7, right? There's a septagram. A septagram, go look it up. Okay, I'll give you time. And it has many names. It can be known as an elven star. It can be known as a wolf star. Yes, listen. And a crow star / raven star. Listen to me. It's called a septagram. In September, it's supposed to be the 7th month. Now, this shit I got on camera, and I'm complaining because what? I can't see the 7 points on the camera as I can visualize it and as I can see it in person. I know what a septagram is. And if you read into what a septagram means on planet Earth or in the atmosphere, period, you start to understand shit. Now, the shit don't show on camera. I'm dead ass serious. But there's a septagram. A 7. That shit is fire. I'm talking about dope. That shit is fire. It's not a drone, a plane, or a fucking or a regular like star. That shit is something different. You should see it in the daytime. In the daytime, when you're looking at it, it's like a brown black circle. And you know how they show like the cloaked out shit? It's like a cloaked out. I'm dead ass serious. You can only see it in person. They knew this shit was going to happen, and this is why the technology, this is why you get upgrades, software upgrades on your phone. It has everything to do with a filter on your camera. I'm dead ass serious. In the daytime, it looks like a dusty ass circle. You ever burn something like it burned a perfect circle? This shit looks like a brown circle that's burned into the sky when it's daytime. As soon as the sun is starting to go down, this shit starts lighting up. And it looks like a porcupine. I'm dead ass serious. I wouldn't waste my time and explain to you right now and go show you because it's not going to show on the phone. But it's there all the time. And when the sun comes up, that shit unbrightens and turns right back into that brown shit and just sits in the sky. Dead ass serious. Septagram. Septagram. S-E-P. Sept. Sept. T-A-G-R-A-M. Septagram. Or you could put in the elven star, the wolf star, raven or crow star. Whichever one you may choose. That shit is bugged out. Bugged out. Yes. Oh, it's also called a Commonwealth star. That's the other name. It's called a Commonwealth star. So if you can't remember septagram, you can remember Commonwealth. Just put in Commonwealth star. Watch what they show you. Unbelievable. It comes, listen, and it moves. That shit moves. It goes to Jersey, like it goes, it's over the water. It's over the water. It's Jersey here, the water, and then it's us, Yonkers. Now, mind you, this side used to be something different. It was never Glenwood. It's Glenwood now, but it's still Yonkers. And it used to be Alpine, New Jersey. Now, as you can see, there's a bunch of test sites and designated land over there where they test shit. And the name of our streets is insane. Ashburton, Warburton, Ravine. If you know the definition of a ravine means a ditch. Woolworth. Yeah, over there is the designated testing lands. We used to have army tanks and shit over here and all of that. This was the military spot back in the day. So I already know where we at. Nothing surprises me because there was a battle in White Plains. They're not going to talk about it. See, I was born in 86, and they never told us about the Chernobyl experience, the Chernobyl situation. They never told us about that when we was born. I want to know, was I impacted by that shit. And I don't care if it wasn't radioactive chemicals, but was it anybody's fault? And did I get anybody's hatred for being born in 86 after that type of stuff happened? Because if you don't know what a nuclear bomb does to you, if it doesn't kill you, talking about the radius of a nuclear bomb while we're on this subject, the shit will turn you permanently retarded. Your kids will have fucking feet growing out their fucking nose and ass cheeks growing out their fucking their teeth from a nuclear bomb. Just in case you thought this shit wasn't anything. Whether it's a 15-mile spread, like an N-28, or it's a fucking 500-mile spread, like a fucking Tsar Bomba. It doesn't matter. You can still turn retarded if you live through this shit. A Hiroshima and the other one is not a Tsar Bomba. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a mini version of that shit, and you see how bad and fucked up it was. They have the Tsar Bomba that had hit this shit, that shit had hit Chicago, and that shit'll fuck up South Carolina. Do the math. That's called the Tsar Bomba. That's the Soviet Union and Russia. That's why Trump wanted to be that nigga's friend. Me personally, thumbs up. Good move. Now the question in the whole situation is Elon Musk an alien from another galaxy? I just have to know this shit. He can't be from Canada. He has to be a fucking Mediterranean, Nordic, tall, destroyer alien from somewhere else. He just has to be. I don't care. I don't care. He has Trump captive. Hostage. Trump is being held hostage by that nigga. Hostage. You can't convince me he's just a regular Canadian that used to play with microwaves and found out if you build microwaves, you can make a black hole. That's part of a nuclear bomb too. Radiation. Can't convince me. His son turned into Two-Face from Batman. He turned into baby Two-Face without no accident. Two-Face was chemically burned and had that shit happen to him. His son just went off and had that shit happen to him. He just went completely Ganesh. If there was ever such a thing. If to justify Vishnu and Hindu, and Vishnu called Ganesh ugly. Another verdi is something that you read in the text. To justify it. Was that what he talking about? Because Ganesh, his father, Shiva, was a ruthless ass motherfucker, according to the text. So just to lay off of Vishnu and give him some, despite all the shit we done read, just to give him some leadway, some leverage, to let him rock. Was it that? Was the little nigga a little fucking Hitler? Yeah, Ganesh. The elephant is the king of the jungle, if you didn't know. Yeah. That shit is broken up. It wasn't the lion. They just broke this shit up. There's 3 different sections of the jungle. You see where the elephant is. The elephant isn't high up. Simba isn't high up. That's where the lions are. They're lying to you. They're not down there with the elephants 24/7. It's just not happening. A rhinoceros can hurt a lion. And then you have the tropic side of the dry side. Yes, it's a such thing. It's the even in Africa. There's a tropical side in Africa. And then there's the fucking tigers where nobody goes. So if you want to tell the myth, tell it right. That's just symbolic to countries to me. America ain't the cracking motherfuckers. It gotta be Russia and China. Because North Korea don't give a fuck about nobody. And y'all niggas forget them like amnesia. We are cooked. Absolutely fried. Trump is held hostage. I don't care. At that age, that little X is at, right? And I would have seen that when I was his age. I either would have laughed at little Elon or I would have beat his little ass. I'd have beat his ass. See, it was shit like that back in the day when I was a kid. I used to fight. I used to be on timing for other grown-ups. Because, you know, a lot of my families used to fight and people used to jump us and stuff like that. But I never used to tolerate a little kid making me look bad, disrespecting an adult. So it'd be on and cracking. I'm not going to say stop talking to him like that. If it was funny and I laughed, it's because I didn't like the other adult. But if I fucked with the other adult and he said some shit, I'd crack him. Yeah, that's how it was back in the day. Okay? That's how it was back in the day. You're not gonna make me look like, you know, like that. The bad karma, the cursing at the adult and the other adults walking down and walking in, viewing this carnage that's going on with the filthy mouth and the potty mouth. So and people used to laugh. They'd be like, yo, don't be a bad little kid in front of certain little kids, because certain little kids don't like that shit because it carries over. Or you was with that kid that was cursing out that adult. You see how that shit used to happen? And I used to get mad. I used to get tilted and fed. I used to get mad at that type of shit. So I used to pop off when I was a little kid. I was a little worse than the other little kids. And I had to really get taught to really stop, because I wouldn't stop. I was a little kid. I was way different than other little kids. I'm being dead serious. I'm still the same way, and I take that shit to the grave. But it was opportunity like that, right? It was opportunity like that where, you know, a little kid is acting up and bam. Sometimes his aggression comes my way and that's all I need. All I need is a little eye roll or a little suck in the teeth in the wrong way, and I was coming across the other little kid's face. And the adults loved me for it. They hated my parents, they hated my whole family, but they liked me because I used to pop off for the right reason. I guess I was blue. I mean, to be real with you. So let's just say Trump popped off for the right reason. I don't think it's possible. You should have went for Russia, my nigga. You just wasted a bullet. You should have just said fuck it and went for Russia. I'm being dead ass serious. That was the absolute wrong thing to do. You giving trillions of dollars to billions of dollars to fucking Ukraine. And then you're not giving our money to us. You're literally showing us that Elon Musk is justified for kidnapping you. I was on the Trump team. I'm thinking certain shit is going to come true. He's going to be light and easy. He's going to have a warm heart, not an Uncle Scrooge. You feel me? I'm being dead ass serious. They keep showing you TikTok videos when the nigga was younger and he was educated and he had this output. But this nigga's a colonel. He's a captain. He's a colonel, a drill sergeant, yo. You feel me? He's a warhead. This nigga's a warhead. Straight for ISIS. It was the Chinese flu and straight to Islam. Here you go. Yo, you see that shit? You see what I'm saying? Be on the lookout, yo. Eggs cost $15, my nigga. I jumped. I had my head down. I didn't know. I went and got the eggs. My head was down. I looked at the drink as I was about to give my number. That shit said $15.99. I said, oh, shit. Meanwhile, we should be growing our own. We should be owning our own chicken and shit. I'm being dead ass serious. Poultry. It's called poultry. Taking out a loan to own the land, get a real estate license to grow crops and to farm. And you can have a house. You see, when you get your farming when you get your farming and planting stuff, your license basically, when you get that shit established, you start to get bigger loans and better opportunity. You just have to have proof. So if you got that estate and that land, you could do that. And you get funded more because you're needed by the state and the city. So if they asking you why you taking out all this money on a loan, it's because I'm helping the world. Everybody wants eggs. The fuck? Everybody wants milk and cheese. So that's how you get the yes for the loans. When you do something big and then you get a big ass field and put your land on it. Not just put your land on it and not produce nothing on your land. That's why they make them fucking tariffs and they want you out them big ass lavish cribs living lavishly. They get you out that shit eventually, or they go send the Hoovers and the hooligans to come kill you. Because you're showing how stupid and selfish and petty you are and immature you are. You go on the Airbnbs when you could be opening up farmlands and farms. That's what the loan is for. Instead of scamming us, hard-ass paying tax-paying people, scamming us for the PPP loans, you could be taking out a loan that you're going to get approved, legitimate, perfectly legal. You'll get more money and more out of it, positivity and all, if you go for farming and planting. That's it. They ask you what this shit is for. You tell them you want to invest in real estate to own it, to pay the tax, $1,500 tax. That's what this shit is for. All of these big numbers that y'all people don't understand, there's business people that understand it. I know the numbers. You feel me? Y'all gotta understand what y'all doing. They know it. Our report, we shouldn't be in debt. We shouldn't be in a recession. We shouldn't owe these people money. If everybody was aware of this business angle in the world, we wouldn't be in debt. If everybody knew how to do the taxes correctly, have a job in the business thing, we'd be eating. We wouldn't be suffering. And them other countries would be getting their money that they're loaning fucking America. Trump is laughing at us. Dead ass at my family. Look how much he grotesque. My family borderline homeless. Everybody still hate him and us. But the difference is this nigga done fucking leveled up. He runs the world, basically. Look at this shit. Imagine being around this nigga, now he runs the fucking world. Still haven't gave nobody a job or anything. A tax sentence. A cheat. Give us a cheat on your tax. On the taxes. Tell us about the 1099-G that we can fill out and we won't get penalized and thrown in jail for. These niggas would throw your ass in jail. Think it's a game. See, that's why I got in and I got the fuck out. I knew what I was doing. I got in and got out. Word. Y'all can still get in and get out. Word. It's just a certain way you do it. When you get a business license, you buy stuff in quantities. Meaning you're not going to buy one iPhone, you're going to buy a case of them. That's real easy to do and get. You just have to maintain it. If you have products and your business failed, you still have the products and you're still the person. So you're still in good standings if you have the products so you can return them. Or you can make a profit some other way. So when you take a loan and you order them things, it's not the end of the fucking world to go into debt. It's not. Because you can actually get your debt erased. When you take out a loan, right? When you take out a loan, you're using a financial federal company. So therefore, you're not entitled or able to pull out the loan yourself. You see what I'm saying? You're not able. You need the financial aid. You need all of those people to get that lump sum of money for its purpose and for its cause. So that's why you file for it. Money's not yours. So if you go bankrupt, or if you change your name and change your social security, it can only haunt you, but they're not going to put you in jail unless you make a bad move, another bad move. You see what I'm saying? About identity crisis and fraud? How the state is still hold on to your identity if you change it. But the federal government is telling the state you're legally obligated to do that. And y'all not supposed to be harassing them. That's the discrepancy. Good cop, bad cop, good cop. What case do y'all want to take? You want to take this murder? Or do you want to take this financial frauder right here? And spend a whole bunch of time because we really don't have nothing on this murder. It was a drive-by. You see? It's shit like that happens. That's a job. That's not a business. Both of them officers need to be selling sneakers and selling fucking water instead of worrying about who's going to get killed because it looks like you need a job. And you just fucking possessed it, want to see that shit and want to get paid. You're bringing everybody dead just like the dead man on the money. That's how it looks in real time. Talking about a fucking job and a position. Y'all done took all the college graduate jobs and put them on probation and parole. All those counseling jobs that college offers, that's what college offers. Counseling, not fucking jail. Probation. Another word for probation, molestation and harassment. Do you legally know, when I said uncommon law, that probation and parole is telling everybody in the state that this person can and we're giving permission for this person to get killed? If you come to us with a greatest story on killing this person that's on probation or parole, you can be exonerated for the charge. That's what the original purpose of probation and parole. Then they said, oh, hell no, don't teach it like that no more. Because racism eased up. They had the mind control over us because if you divided white and colored and you live by that shit, if you get in trouble again, we gonna kill you. And white people got the guns and the black people don't. And the black person got in trouble, it's easy to just single whoever out. But since racism lightened up as much as it did, and probation and parole doesn't seem what the fuck it really is because you don't want to be too racist and rub certain people the wrong way. I bet you I teach you that shit. The city and state is giving permission to people to kill you. That's what probation and parole is. That's what an inmate is. If you think about an inmate, it's just trying to turn you into a homosexual. Why am I in here mating with a bunch of fucking people and there's no fucking baby or any type of growth test after this? Because there's a community. There's a community that could pay you. And the federal people, the federal government, they know about the community. They have to acknowledge them because the community is fucking terrorism too. There's good ones and there's bad ones. So whoever don't fucking like it is just what it is. Just saying. Waste a missile, my nigga. Shit've just hit the Soviet Union. You see how they are? You see the difference between white people and white people? There's actual real white people that's just like the colored people. It's just like some genetic colored shit, the difference. And then there's fucking white people where you can't talk, you can't think. The Nordics, yeah, the Nordics. That's the difference. They look like, but are they really like you? They don't look like a squid or an octopus or a fucking mermaid. But this nigga is close to being a giant and a Nephilim, and so is the female. What's up with this? You know, them tall whites can give a fuck about the nigger white people. Because the nigger white people, like the Irish and the other ones, the ones they just got blue hair and blue and fucking blonde hair, whatever, blue eyes and black, whatever genetic shit that they got wrong with them in the throat, graves. It's something different. It's something else. And you start to breathe different or whatever. It's something. See, they can get. It's possible they can get mistreated, and then they get laughed at too, because the superior lizard white men, they just use them. They call them Christians. Do you hear how Elon Musk approaches Christianity? That's what they're gonna use the other white people, the less white, the waste of skin white people, the plastic bag white people that they look. That's what that shit comes from. It comes from them alien white people. They hate all of us. Everybody in government, they despise us. Look at your life in America. They despise us. What better weapon is to use something that looks just like them? I'm being dead ass serious. That's the evilest trick ever. Convincing you never exist. It was these niggas right here. It wasn't us. We're not them. Now look, if you look at them as a collective, as a gang and a group, you put the inferior white people with the superior white people. They just look like fucking white people. Now think about what I said, dog. They could just drop a new city over water. You see how there's a big ass gap out of my window? And there's mad Hudson water right there? They can literally just drop land over the water, and it could be a new city. They could connect this side of Yonkers to Alpine, New Jersey, right now via the airplane with big ass airplanes, and just make this shit, a new city. What's cheaper? Syria. And Syria, yeah. Syria got their hands in nuclear bombs, yo. Facts. If you didn't know, now you know. Syria is not you shouldn't fuck with Syria, France, Turkey. Those places you just shouldn't fuck with. Big nigga Trump. Big nigga Trump. This nigga, he threw on the Tupac, nigga. First to Bomb. Featuring Daz Dillinger. First to Bomb. That shit is crazy. And they was around each other. Trump and Pac was around each other more often than you know. Because that whole story with Puff Daddy and shit is a little deeper than what y'all know. I'm not gonna spoil it. But this shit is funny. Y'all see it. They're slowly revealing it to you. You start to ask the questions. Was Puffy and Pac really, were they friends at one time? It wasn't just Biggie and Pac? Was Puff and Tupac closer than Tupac and Big? You start to ask that type of shit. Right? You start to see that White Plains in Mount Vernon is like 5 minutes away, and Brooklyn is like an hour. You feel me? I mean, I know, but y'all see where that shit went? If it's over your head and under your nose. Trump he owned one, huh? This is it. I'm giving you the fair warning. I'm giving you the yellow light. You heard? I'm giving you the yellow light, the caution. You know how everybody makes the mistake on while they driving on traffic when it's a light and you're supposed to let the person turn. No, it doesn't matter if they're making a left or a right because you're going straight. You know how you're going straight, right? You're going straight, and there's somebody. You're both at the light, and somebody's supposed to make a turn. You're supposed to let the person make the turn. It's in the motor vehicle handbook, the driving handbook. When you're at the light, it's a red light, and somebody is signaling to either go left or right, and you're going straight. You're supposed to let the person turn first, not blitz and go straight. Sounds familiar? Now, say, I'm going to keep it yellow with y'all niggas. I'm being dead. This is all caution. This is all caution. You're supposed to let the person turn first if you're going straight. If you was both at the red light. How about that one? Tariff. You see how we don't have we need a no honk sign? Don't beep over here type shit. Don't honk your horn. $1,000 fine. And they just won't put the shit over here. We got the water in Echo, right? Not to mention, we have a building that they think was blown up nuclearly. It's still up. This shit rusted away. This shit just exploded. They think this shit was hit by a fucking missile or something. It just exploded out of nowhere. They won't tell the history of what happened. They lied. They fucking lied. And there's a nuclear plant right upstream where them aliens be at. On the History Channel. Check it out. Channel 47. So now that this is coming to the realization, right? And I'm pointing to you right now, out the window. That shit is a testing ground for weapons. I'm just saying, I'm a predict it and post it. I've been here forever. I know the whole history in Yonkers. There used to be wolves. You can still catch them. It was a couple of days ago a wolf was over here. Not a coyote. I know the difference. The biggest a coyote could get is 50 pounds. This shit was a grown-ass 150-pound wolf. That shit was gray and black. It was over here. This land a long time ago was long. I was alive when the wolves were still over here. The shit used to pop out in the streets or come down the hill. Back in the day, not coyotes, not the little coyotes that's mean. A coyote will attack the shit out you. A coyote will shake you. A coyote will run up on your pit bull and shake your pit bull before a wolf would, to be honest with you. A coyote is just a little meaner, it's just small, and it doesn't have a chance. But a wolf will kill you. Take your life. You won't live. You can fight off a coyote, and if a coyote catch you the right way on your neck, it can kill you instantly. Dead serious. You come hand in hand with a wolf. You don't have nothing, you're dead. You don't see the heroic videos of people fighting off wolves. You see the coyote dog. At best. A bear will stop and look at you. We had bears too. A bear will stop. But this is how scary this shit is. This is why a fucking wolf looks like it's a magician. Because this shit looks like, first it looks digital. That's first of all. And second of all encounters I had with real wolves, it looked like it just came out of nowhere. Like this shit was just set there by God. Like he just put it there and it just spawned there. Dead ass serious. Now, if that shit runs down on you, not without the pack, I'm talking about a real, either an alpha wolf, a beta wolf, a Wallace wolf could kill you. Okay? Even though the Wallace is the smallest, a Wallace wolf, that's why they call it the Wallace. That shit'll kill you. And an Omega wolf. Them shits will kill you. They will not stop until you die. Or until it dies. That's why they have those names. They grow in, they hunt in groups and packs. And they function subconsciously. Wolves. That's the magic of a wolf. See, the scientists think that a wolf is an animal that's in a petrified salt state. Because a wolf has a magic side. If you hold the wolf captive, you can see personalities of it because he's trying to get, or she's trying to get free. They don't want to show people that because a person to go capture a wolf just to see that shit for itself. Just like they don't want to show you talking to dolphins, right? You ask a dolphin a question, a dolphin just might snatch your ass up and try to take you under the water, under the sea, where the watermelons grow. So it's for your safety. But a wolf, if a wolf attacks you, brother or sister, you're finished. Not a coyote. I'm talking about a wolf. You're done. It's over. Yeah. Them shits be over here. You see the castle. You see how eerie, and you remember Goosebumps? Goosebumps, remember how scary that shit was? Back in the day when you was a shorty? You used to read the books and you used to get all scared. You used to watch the show. The feeling is still over here. Where the niggas just decapitate you. You know the guy that decapitates you will walk down the stairs? That type of castle? That castle shit is still over here. The legend is Sleepy Hollow is supposed to be over here, Tarrytown. That's what that shit was about. That shit was over here. You see how they say everything is a lie? Everything was really in New York? Everything was really in America? That legend is Sleepy Hollow shit was really over here. Yeah, that's what they say. Now, listen. I thought it was over there in England or wherever that shit was at. They said that shit was really over here. Incorporeal. If that's what they're talking about, I could believe it. Incorporeal. Just saying. I didn't name Tarrytown Sleepy Hollow. I had a science teacher, Miss Ciccone, that told me all about that shit. Italian lady. She was spooked out. It's a lot of bugged out stuff that go over here. I'm just being honest with you. Warburton, Ashburton. The fuck? Trump is from over here. They gonna crack that nigga. It's no sense. Why? Go to Atlanta. Right? Go to Georgia and do that shit. You feel me? Go build I gave him a chance, but build that shit in Georgia. Let them niggas get hit. Come on, people, wake up. Instead of denying that shit. Look how calculated and orchestrated that shit was. It was reported as a fucking Trump attacks fucking ISIS. Come on. Look how that shit was reported. Can't ignore that shit. If you don't know what to do right now, it's this dude. His name is Cash, Cash, Nasty, right? Nasty. He has a nuclear bomb video. And if you want to see how bad a Tsar bomber could fuck up the United States or anywhere, then go look at that shit. That shit is no fucking joke. That shit ain't no lie. Y'all thinking about explosion and shit catching on fire. Y'all not looking at the chemicals spreading across the world, turning people retarded, making you inaudible. You got blood running out your eyes, ears, and nose. Your tongue swelled up that you almost swallowed your tongue. Y'all not thinking about that shit. You're not thinking about that at all. Y'all just trying to go to sleep when you die. When you think about death, you're not thinking about that shit. Yes, those nuclear weapons turn you retarded. If you are not next to the explosion, you will be fucking permanently retarded and disfigured. You don't have to be touched by fire. You don't have to be touched by no fucking acid. That shit is gas. That shit is another type of air. That shit takes like 72 hours to leave the world. Yeah, after. So it sets in first. For the people that don't get it, once it hit, it sets in because that shit sticks. And then it leaves. 72 hours later. That shit sticks. That gas sticks. It blows up shit and ignites shit. It sticks to human flesh. It sticks to walls and concrete. It sticks to fucking leaves and trees. That shit is poison. Fuck is wrong with people? Stupid as shit. They think it's just a loud explosion and you gonna die because you heard how loud it was and it blew up your heart. No, you fucking dumbass. That shit is gonna eviscerate you and burn the shit out you. Your nose is gonna melt. Your eyes is gonna melt out your fucking sockets. Your hair is gonna catch fire. Fuck is wrong with people? This shit is real. Everybody that's here, it don't matter how old you are, you here for a reason. All I had to see was the septagram. That's all I had to see. That's all I had to see. That shit look like a fucking porcupine. You should see the people that see it at the park. They bug out. They say, oh shit, what the fuck? I couldn't believe it. That shit came out again. Them nukes is, no joke. And it's a lesson though. You feel me? It's a lesson to be learned. When the government could drop that shit on a bunch of people and say, well, y'all niggas should have got along. And this shit probably wouldn't have happened because everything would have been right. Money wouldn't have been an issue. We set it up where you could get away with this shit, where money wouldn't be a fucking issue. You wouldn't have an attitude. You wouldn't have to ask nobody for nothing. That's a lesson to learn. That's a fucking lesson to teach too. You don't sit up there and waste so fucking bombs on ISIS, nigga. You sitting up there supplying Ukraine all that money and they getting the shit kicked out of them by Russia and you don't go intervene in that shit? Fuck out of here. That nigga's a straight bad person. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Family, friend of the family, and not. Fuck you. I was fucked up. Am I mad that he hit the Indians? Yes, I am. Fuck, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Go hit the fucking Russians, nigga. That bullshit. That's some bullshit. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, get your Twin Towers taken down. It was shit like that going on before the towers got hit. And when you seen the Pentagon, you seen the shit got hit by a missile. Was no damn plane, no plane that fucking quick. And where's the black box? I was some bully shit. Come on, dog. Look at what we fell for, man. I'm good. Bring that draft back, dog. Let's see. I want to see. I want to see if the youth, if the kids deserve to live. That's what I want to see. I want to see if they're going to win this one. You got to stand up for what you believe in. Look at our principles and morals in America. Look at what we stand for, what we practice every single day. I want to see if the new soldiers is worth keeping. Yeah. He talking about the space army, the space military. The fuck out of here, man. That's them white people trying to get you closer to their planet. They're gonna slave this shit out y'all. Do you know how scary that could be? If them powdered toast white people, them tall Elon Musk white people, if they take a black person or a fucking colored, one of our precious Asians, or one of our precious Spanish people, or one of our precious Caribbeans, or precious Africans, or one of our precious Arabs, could you imagine if one of our precious little babies was in one of those white Nordic planets, just and everybody looks like Elon Musk? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That is horrifying. That is terrible. One of our little precious African or white or Oriental babies over there with the tall, a bunch of Elons? Oh my goodness. What's that shit called? No Way, the movie? Yeah, I don't know the name. I'm glad I don't know it. But you know what I'm talking about with the black kid who drank the tea. Imagine that on the earth. Oh no. Hell no. Fuck that. Talking about some space military. You gonna take our kids right to a planet that your people is from. They brought Trump in for that because Kamala, she not letting her kids do that shit. Right? Your mom ain't letting that shit happen. And you know what? Somebody else's mom ain't letting somebody else's kid go. You notice that shit too, right? There could be a mom that can hate another kid, or her kid's friend. She can hate that nigga. But she not gonna let that motherfucker get too violated. A mom is going to, they didn't let mom get in this shit, so you know it's some shit. That nigga, I don't know if he's grandpa or if he's uncle, but you know it's on. Mom wasn't having that. Kamala wasn't doing that shit. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care what nobody say. I feel like the president, they have to listen to people, but honestly and truthfully, they do have a say into doing something. And shooting that missile was unnecessary. I don't care. It cost too much money. I don't care. I don't care. It's over. There it is. Back to work. I was fucking with him. I was fucking with him, dog. I'm being dead ass serious. I was fucking with him. I see that. I can't fuck with him. Somebody gonna crack that ass. I'm telling you, man. Somebody gonna crack that ass, man. Somebody gonna crack that ass, man. I'm complaining because I'm in New York. You mean to tell me in the emails the reason why they keep hitting New York is to get back at Trump? We had a self-driving car that blew up in front of Trump shit. So now everybody here, we subjected because of fucking Trump. And we could have easily avoided this shit if we let mom be president for 4 years. Uncle Sam. That nigga is Uncle Sam. He was probably a portrait. That shit, that Uncle Sam shit. They said the real Uncle Sam was a fake person. The person with the hat, they said that person isn't real. That isn't a real person. So now I'm starting to see that Trump's family was popping back in the day, and Trump's life was anticipated, and they painted up Trump on how he was gonna look, and just called that shit Uncle Sam. He's a fucking colonel. Think about that shit, man. Look what that nigga just did. What the fuck? Not China? You ships. I'm just saying. I'm not encouraging it. I'm looking at it from a money standpoint. You did that shit for money. That's what I'm saying. You did that shit for a business move. That's a business move right there. That's a business move. Care what nobody say. That's fucked up. You really don't know what he did. Calling that shit ISIS. They probably just over there blasting. Blasting and blasting. Come on, man. Catch on to that shit, man. That shit is fucked up. Y'all not going to see real and all the footage. Come on, man. Y'all niggas need to be alarmed when y'all see that. Especially in New York. Especially on the East Coast. Nobody needs New Hampshire. Nobody needs Vermont. Nobody needs Detroit. Nobody needs them. Nobody. Rhode Island. Nobody needs them. Canada wants them. We don't need them. Stop paying them motherfuckers. Like if you see what I'm saying? You see how he's fucking, he's retarded? Like if you want to make some sense, you should give them those properties. You should give them and then just keep New York since your whole financial estate is in New York. Because if you give them those states, they will leave us alone. They won't bomb New York no more because they'll be able to make fucking money and all their money back. He's harboring and taking over land. And all they're going to do is go for your gold mine. Give them California. Give them Vermont. Give them Rhode Island. Yes, give that to them and then pay us. Pay everybody from New York on down to the south. Into the west. Not including California. Just Las Vegas. That's it. And give them Alaska. Give them back Alaska. Pardon me, I'm sorry. Give them Alaska back. We don't need that shit. That's being real, but you're sending out wrong messages. If they ask for certain territories, give it to them so you don't have to pay for them. You don't have to pay those people. You can make us happier. And plus, we live on your estate. We know you, nigga. I'm talking about Trump. We know you. So just start fucking paying us. We don't care about fucking New Hampshire. We don't care about fucking Rhode Island. All it takes is a storm to take that shit off. The sharks are over there, Trump. They're eating the people. Fuck it. Let it go. It's like the Titanic. Just let it go. He's keeping that shit preserved so he can build something over there. He needs to be smart, give that shit away while he's the president, and then get extra paid over here in New York. On down to the West Coast. Fuck California. Go to Las Vegas. In Texas. If we get back all the money from California, for the last 20 years, especially during COVID, that should have paid off the recession. We probably wouldn't have to work. Elon could probably use his robots. And the niggas in California think that shit is funny because they know they could be brought out by Canada. Once they brought out by Canada, America just gave all these niggas our money. And we sitting up here still fucked up. You see how this shit makes sense? You gotta understand everything. The whole geography of this shit to be as mad as me. This and my family knows this nigga personally. The Gulf of America. You don't need it. You don't. You don't. You really don't. You just need these people off your asses. Because all they're going to do is send sick people over here to bubonic plague this shit. The fuck? Anything you do, the federal government tells you can do it. The federal government let Trump do that shit. Yes, he has to ask for permission. You know how the devil has to ask God for permission to come tempt you? Any country has to ask the federal government for permission for war and to strike anybody. And you have to wait for the approval. That's why they call it territories. You niggas don't think that somebody's gonna ask to finally nail us to the fucking cross if it was ever a story? I'm talking about nailing shit out of us too. As a whole continent, country, and society. The time is now. You skipped history and went back in time. Back to the future. Come on, man. We would be so good if he sold Cali, if he sold Vermont. He needs to sell Cali to Canada, and he needs to ask for that money back. He needs to ask for that money. Each and every red penny. That's what he should do. If we get that money back and we sell to other states, we don't have to work. It moves in room for a universal high income bill. You see the argument between Trump and Elon Musk? Elon Musk, he wants a universal high income bill instead of just a UBI, a universal income bill. That's the discrepancy between Democrats and Republicans. That also go hand in hand with taxes in the IRS if you're working or if you got a fucking business. And everybody, even if you're homeless, should have an EIN in a business. And they don't teach y'all that. It's over. If we was doing that, we wouldn't be owing other countries money. Besides California and New York, we get all the bread. We make a lot of money. And Yonkers, New York is the fourth biggest state in New York. It's the fourth biggest city in New York State. Yonkers, the fourth biggest city in New York State. Yes, it is. Yonkers is known for what? The boats and the fucking railroads. That's transportation for goods. That's the biggest thing in the world. Without transportation of goods, there's nothing to be produced. Life wouldn't be as we know it without transportation. Now, for everybody that just caught on to what the fuck I'm saying, We seeing orbs and shit. I'm a nigga with a chakra. Look what just happened. Look what we known for. Yonkers, Westchester, we get money. That's what the battle was for in White Plains. The battle in White Plains was because we get money. The nuclear plant and all of that. Come on, dog. I hate to bring you to the realization. But why on earth would anybody go after fucking Wisconsin? The fuck, or North Dakota, to hurt the United States of America, especially Trump? Come on, dog. This shit is fright. This is panic. This is fear, dog. This shit is real life. Big blast and big booms. Facts. Come on, man. Because if Kamala would have won and she would have did this shit, they'd have just ripped her head off in California. If she'd have did that, they'd have went to Cali and bombed Cali. Every time Trump is in some stupid shit, they always come to New York and fuck us up. Every single time. If they don't physically fuck us up, they short us on shit. You can't get side salads at McDonald's. During the pandemic, you couldn't get a side salad at McDonald's. A side salad. A fucking salad with one fucking tomato, 3 leaves of onion, and a fucking, what's the little red shit called? A radish or whatever it's called. You can't get a salad at McDonald's, my nigga. Like, a salad? A side salad? A dollar side salad? Privilege. You know me, I used to get gassy, eat like 5 or 6 of them burgers and like 4 or 5 or 6 of them fries. This salad, or you get like 3, 4 salads, you good. McDonald's won't get you all dry in the stomach. Yeah, they took it all away. They niggas said suffer. Suffer. Yeah, suffer. For some reason. Powerade. Can't get Powerade. It's over. It is over. And it's scary. You want to know why? What else is scary about this whole situation? And why it makes sense? And if y'all look at it and analyze this shit, it truly is something called the Illuminati. Because this nigga Puffy, he got backdoored by a liquor company. Really look at that shit. So this is just, you feel what I'm saying? A liquor company. Like, this is just a headline to put in people's faces to, you know, to steer the other way of other shit. A liquor company sent a whole bunch of people, said that he was fucking them. That shit is brilliant. It was like it's premeditated. Come on, man. The Pop Smoke situation. You see how cruddy and grimy. I didn't know that. I heard it, but I didn't know that that was really what it was. That the car dealer guy hired the little kids to go kill him because they took a car. See, I didn't know that shit. And you see how California, how they get down? How, you know, they celebrated on killing somebody from New York? Like, that shit is fucked up. Y'all not seeing the bigger picture. That was just something from that. Yeah, that's cursing New York. Tupac, that whole situation, that shit is all a flame to New York. If y'all haven't picked up on that, you feel me? This is all a fuck New York. If anybody deserves to die first, it's New York type shit. This is what it boils down to. You see how y'all catch on to that shit late? I gotta show y'all. Pay attention to that. That little nigga got out of jail. And them other little niggas is gonna get out. Feel me? I know it's fuck New York. I heard it from their mouth. I know everybody hates New York. Everybody. They will be your friend just to despise New York more. It's over, dog. Come on, man. That shit is crazy. And the reason why it's rubbing me the wrong way, because it's ISIS. Like you keep taking lives or whatever, and you keep trying to justify that shit. Now, if they hit Chicago with something crazy, then how you gonna look? Because that's domestic terrorism right there. You feel me? And I don't wish that shit. It's just, an eye for an eye. Like you hit them with a missile. You feel me? That shit could, you know what I'm saying? That shit could be like Russia and Ukraine right now. We don't know it. Certain people, they know they did wrong in their life. And at the end of their life, they want to get right with God. Or they want to get right whatever they think is God. Look how y'all niggas is caught up. Y'all caught up in y'all behavior when real life shit can happen. Snap of a dime, y'all niggas die. You got caught being giddy. And niggas ended you. Better off with Kamala, my nigga. Dead ass. He's better off with Kamala. Georgia always escaped, though. Georgia's a foul, fucked up place. I'm being serious. Like, the people in there is some fucked up people. They got some sickos in Georgia.